Okay, this is commentary for section C, generation of ideas or generating ideas. So there's 5 things to focus on. 1 is the generation of the ideas. This one's then applying a finish to the ideas, annotating your ideas, commenting on whether or not your ideas meet your design brief and your specification list, and then gathering comments from your client, try and get some feedback on the work. So this video, I'm just going to go through the assessment criteria, and then the following videos we'll do a demonstration about generating ideas. So the aims are to produce a range of initial ideas for section C. I'm going to look at the assessment criteria. This is all flowed over, but it just gives you an idea on here. I think it's because I'm playing it in display mode. So can you see on here, it's worth 20 marks this, so it's a considerable amount of marks. Roughly about 3 sheets we're looking for, 3 concise sheets, okay? So this is the assessment criteria for the top band for 20 marks. So we're looking for, first of all, imaginative, creative and innovative ideas have been generated, fully avoiding design fixation and with full consideration of functionality, aesthetics and innovation. So don't think you're going to meet all this criteria in the first set of ideas. So in this instance, we're looking at just surface graphics for the album cover or the band cover. So we're looking for a wide range. They must all be different, using different techniques. You can use a spider diagram technique, which I'll show you in the next video, to generate them. We're looking for different forms. Just ask the question, what if I do this, will it be a better idea? So we're just making sure that we consider aesthetics, and we're trying to make them different, not copy something that already exists. The second criteria, ideas have been generated that take full account of ongoing investigations, that is both fully relevant and focused. So in this, make sure you use your research. So you won't have to use all your research for this particular task, but if you've looked at surface graphics, if you've analysed an existing product with surface graphics, try and use that to help you with this process, and make sure you state it in your annotations. So state how you've used your research. And then if you need to, you might have to carry out, no one wants to, but you might have to carry out further research if you need it. It says extensive experimentation, excellent communication is evident with a wide range of techniques. So if you can, throughout year 10, we will have looked at different techniques, whether it's isometric, 1 point, 2 point. If it's relevant, depending on what you're designing, you've got cutaways, exploded views, sectional views. You can even model in CAD, but in this instance, we don't really need to do that because we're focusing primarily at the moment on surface graphics. And the last one, again, it's very similar. Make sure you're imaginative, use a range of different strategies for different purposes. Okay, so we're going to use your mood boards to help you give some inspiration, also your product analysis. So now we're looking at some of the exemplar stuff from AQA. So you can see on this one, we've got, this is for a chocolate bar project. So we've got that range of isometric work. It's completely full. They're using geometric forms up in the top section to give them, if I move that up, give them some kind of inspiration for the form of it. So that's one technique you can use. We've also got some evidence of testing over here on the left hand side in blue. You've also got some target audience comments as well. There's a bit of a finish on the work, but you can see they've subheaded all the topics, whether it's function, aesthetics. I don't know if they've not subtitled problems on this one. Next one, so this is a combination. So the page is in essence split in half. On one side you've got the packaging for the chocolate bar in isometric, and on the right hand side you've got the surface graphics as well. They've used a spider diagram technique to give them some ideas for the surface graphics, and the same up here in the top left hand side. But again, they're all subheadings: imagery, font, colour. They even mentioned social, cultural, environmental issues in there. This one, again, so this is for a point of purchase box for the chocolate bars. But again, they're using use of arrows to indicate some kind of movement or dynamics taking place with the product as well. It's not relevant for surface graphics, but it could be later on if you're doing some packaging. But again, there's clear evidence of testing in the top left-hand corner. If I move that up so you can see that just in that top left-hand corner. So we're now looking at starting your ideas. So eventually we'll put this into your PowerPoint. So we want, if we bring this up so you can see, we want to make sure that that theme that you've got, that kind of corporate identity running through your projects that you've got on all your sheets, try and use that. You won't be able to do that just yet, but you can drop your scans in onto a PowerPoint slide, which will carry that. If you want to use swatches, you can do. So if I'm trying to come up with some ideas for the surface graphics for, let's say, punk rock, I could get some swatches to give me some inspiration. You don't have to do this, but you could use your mood boards that you've already generated to give you some ideas. So to make sure that the examination board know you've done that, you could mention that in your annotations. Down at the bottom here, we make full use of different types of annotations. So you're not just describing what you've got there. It could be function, aesthetics, not really materials when it comes to doing your surface graphics, but that will come later on when you do some form of packaging. And then eventually we'll have some space where we can have some client comments in there. And then they want some kind of review taking place on the page. So which ideas are you going to carry forward and why? So really that's got to come from, it really should be meeting your specification list, and it needs to be the most popular design based on your client feedback. Okay, so that's the first slide looking at the assessment criteria.